Stop. If you're struggling, if nothing seems to work, even if you suck. What I want to present to you today is without question your best shot at getting the views that you deserve. YouTube is brand new, the algorithm new. We need new methods and strategies, and I've been testing and trying, and finally, after weeks, months of uploading endlessly, I've touched on something that I have to share with you. It's so very powerful. And the reason this is a video you should watch is because everybody talks about watch time and adding value. What does that even mean? In this video, in literally like 1 minute, you're gonna know exactly what to do to dramatically increase the likelihood you get more views. And furthermore, I'm gonna give you an insurance policy, something that even if the first thing kind of doesn't work, you'll have something to fall back on. And it's not keep publishing videos or try to be consistent. It's tactical and it'll help you. Let's talk about it. Over the last few months, I've really been practicing to break out of just publishing the same kind of videos. You see, I can't rely on this anymore. Fact is, the algorithm is really brand new and it's rewarding the interests of individual YouTube viewers. YouTube doesn't care that I've got 160,000 some subscribers. All the algorithm cares about is what you, the viewer, are interested in and want to click. Now, one of the things to consider is in order to succeed, you've got to do two things incredibly well. Did I mention this? I've done this intro a bunch. One is you have to increase how long viewers are watching. And this is something that almost always takes time and a lot of practice. But what I'm going to share, you can implement. And it can have a big impact on your ability to increase the watch time, because we're going to focus on titles and thumbnails, and I'm going to share a very specific strategy that, again, I've never ever shared, because it's really the kind of stuff I'm striving to improve and try and test, because the old stuff doesn't work. Now, you can do this for free, and it's really all about outlier videos, which you may have heard about, but what I want to do is tell you and show you specifically what it looks like to find the right kind of video that can help you break out. And it begins with this statement from YouTube, and they mentioned really user history. Oh, and by the way, I need to break down how this works, why it works, so you truly understand. Give me a few minutes, or sadly, the struggle will continue. Let's keep moving forward. Notice the last statement. When was the last time the user watched a video on this topic? Now, this paper was written years ago, and it's even more important today with the introduction of the For You algorithm, which was pioneered by TikTok. Now, YouTube is literally implementing and changing everything based on the For You algorithm. So if you want more views, start with the viewers that you want to come to your channel. You want to think to myself, I have to publish a video that I know can succeed. I need to see signs of success with other creators, or I will stumble and I will fail. The best way to do that is just to find smaller creators that are in your niche, targeting the same audience as you, and then to work backwards and create your version of this very thing. What I'm going to break down is variations on how to do this. Again, we're going to go deep. It's not hard. But you got to watch the video, you got to get the information, and then what's more challenging is you have to implement it. Do this. First thing, find a big pad of paper, a big plaque, make a plaque that says, find outlier videos, and put it on the wall. Remind yourself on the daily, numerous times a day, to implement this very thing, and you'll be far more likely to do that. So the first thing to think about is we want to find smaller channels, or channels like mine, for example, that have been kind of struggling and now they're breaking out because what they're doing now is working. Then what we want to do is we want to install the free plugin from vidIQ. I've got a link to it down below in my description. And when you search YouTube on a desktop computer, you're going to see this outlier score. It's like this purple kind of little box with a number 9x, 10x, 100x, and that stands for video performance compared to the average channel performance. So my channel average is about 1,500 views, maybe 1,200 views in the first 24 hours, and then over time it just looks at the performance. So here you can see this video is done much better. Now, you don't have to use vidIQ, and as mentioned, it's free, and I recommend you do, but all you need to do is just see that a video from a specific channel, especially a smaller channel, has done well, and then that's the first start of the process, right? We want to qualify a video title for your video before you publish, because again, this is the best way to ensure your success. Like my videos that are breaking out have far better CTR, which is the video metric of how often viewers click. And furthermore, this other metric, VPH, views per hour, is just that, and it helps you identify videos that continue to drive views. Now, one of the things to do is just find videos in your niche from channels in your niche that have high outlier scores and make your vision, or I should say make your version of the video, that's it. But there's another method, and this is really what I did with this particular video, and lo and behold, it totally worked. I made a video based on a sub-niche or an adjoining niche. Like imagine my channel is about YouTube growth. Another niche that's really close and similar could be social media growth or business, online business, and so on. For example, Sunny Lenarduzzi, she used to talk about YouTube growth. Now she talks more about business, making money with YouTube, and so on. So that's an adjoining niche. One of the things I found was what I thought could be a really compelling video title that would get viewers to click. And it was, if you're ambitious but lazy, watch this video, something to that effect. And it was from an older gentleman, and the video had a high outlier score, and other videos in the niche also had a high outlier score. So I took that idea and I just configured it for YouTube. All I did was change the end of the title a little bit, like, but you want YouTube success. And the result was Google actually featuring my video on the homepage of Google when people search for YouTube. Now, the fact of the matter, this is not a great result in terms of really what I want, which is YouTube algorithm, YouTube viewers on YouTube. But I've done that with this other video that's based on the same exact thing. Here's what's really interesting. The more you adopt this method, the more you make it easy for the YouTube algorithm to honor and understand that so many viewers have watched videos on this very subject. And I bet you that those viewers would be interested in this video, which is your video, because now you're a part of the conversation. And when we start adopting this strategy and mindset, what you're going to find is it's just easier for the algorithm to connect your video to the viewers who are interested in that exact thing. The other thing to think about is leveraging thumbnails to really entice viewers to click, and testing and trying. Now, I've made a number of videos about this. I'm not going to go into it, but the thing to understand is this. Most creators kind of screw up thumbnails. They don't honor the psychology of winning the click, getting viewers to click on their video. And guess what? They struggle. But when you can really think to yourself, how can I get a viewer to click? Well, by adding the right kind of compelling text to my thumbnail, I'll be more likely to win. And even better, we can test and try out different types of emotional triggers, right? We can go negative, we can go positive, we can base it on desire. And if that sounds hard, just use ChatGPT and say, here's my video title. I want 5 phrases that are 2 or 3 words based on desire. I want another 5 that are 2 or 3 words based on FOMO, and so on, right? When you do this, you're going to have very different thumbnails, and one of them is always going to do better almost all of the time. especially when you practice the psychology of YouTube. And my friend, let me tell you, when you start doing this, I guarantee you'll be far more likely to make it happen. But what about that insurance policy that I mentioned? Because fact is, you probably will not get the views you desire, and it's just because you still have to practice and step up to the plate, and it's so hard, and your video is competing against 1 trillion videos on YouTube. You're not just competing against the channels in your niche, you're competing for attention. That's it. So the thing to do is this. One of the triggers is CTR. The other trigger is watch time. And fact of the matter is, it's really, really hard to increase your watch time unless you do this one thing, and it almost always works, and that is to go longer. Now, I'm not talking about adding fluff to your video. I'm not talking about endlessly rambling. I'm just sharing that when you really are willing to go deep in a subject, it's super powerful for about 3 or 5 different reasons. Number one, the watch time average view duration almost always goes up, especially when you do this again and again, and you do this next thing I'm going to suggest. And that is, every time you make a video, you think to yourself, I have to connect with the viewer that's watching. I need to talk in a way that they can relate to and want to listen to. I had to teach myself early to not be so erratic and crazy and goofy, and there was an audience for that, but it was a small niche audience, and I wanted one of these. And over time, by practicing my delivery, I saw my views go up and up until I hit 2019. And then sadly, I went through a lot of personal stuff. I stepped away from YouTube and I stopped uploading, and that's why my channel's been working its way back. And now I've got a foothold, right? I got my foot in the door and I'm not letting up, and I know you can do it too. So decide it shall be. Kick down the door of opportunity as you announce your arrival wherever life may take you, and publish that next video and leverage the outlier method that I've mentioned, and really only make videos when you know that these videos have proven to do well for other creators, and then take your stab at it. And the last thing is this. Don't think you can implement this one thing and it's just going to work and it's all a bunch of crap, because this is a skill-based game. It takes time and attention, just like being a professional football player or ballerina dancer. You can't just step out onto the grass or the floor and expect to perform like those people that have done it for ages. But again, I truly believe that this is the best way to get better results right now. This other video on the screen will really highlight why the algorithm may be holding you back, and even better, how you can get ahead. Check out those videos, and when you do, you'll get the tips, the tactics, and you'll feed a poodle. You dig?